Okay, this is video, this is number 5 in the series of videos where we're having a bit of a recap and covering some of the fundamentals of C Sharp and a Windows Forms based application. For this one here, we're going to have a look at strings. To do that, I'm going to get the user to put in some text, and then when we click run code, we'll do something with it. So the first thing I need to do is have somewhere where we can enter some text, and I'm going to go over to the toolbar or toolbox. Okay, so for one reason or another it wasn't showing me my tools there, but from the toolbox here now I'm going to pick up a text box, and I'll drop a text box on the form there. I'm going to change the name, and text boxes will use the prefix txt, again followed by underscore. I'm going to use this for some input, so we'll call it input. The text property of the text box itself, we would leave blank, but I'm just going to put something on it just for now, just to see what the size is like. A bit small, so I'll take the font property and I'll put that up to 12. Okay, so that looks a bit better. So now I can take off that simple text that's in there. So we have a text box now that we can use for some kind of simple input. Behind the run code button, I've taken out everything that was in there before. So if I double click on the run code button, you'll see that we just have the basic method here. In other words, what happens whenever we click event occurs on that run button. And let's very simply just say RTB, which is the rich text box, RTB output dot text is equal to, and if I say it's equal to whatever's in txt input dot text, well then we're just putting a copy of what's in there into here. So if I run that and click, let's say put in hello world and click on run code, we get hello world on there. So I'm going to do something just a wee bit more complicated. If we're going to play around with strings, we'll do it properly and have a bit of fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it so that if you have a sentence here, the code behind the run button will count the number of words that's in the sentence. So if I typed in, for example, Mary had a little lamb, it should tell me there's 5 words there. And to save us having to type it in every time we run it, it was part of the test, I'll just put in Mary had a little lamb. Okay, not going to worry about full stops or anything else here. So I just have the code Mary had a little lamb. And the idea is when we click on the run code button, it tells me the number of words that's in that. Now, the simple way of doing that is to count the spaces and add 1. So there's 4 spaces between the words here, and if we add 1, we'll get the value 5, and there is 5 words there. Doesn't always work like that, but that's the method we'll use first of all. So what do we need? Well, we need somewhere that's gonna hold the number of spaces that will ultimately become the number of words. So I'll create an integer variable called, I'll call it just n underscore words, and I will actually set it with a default value of 1, because there's always one more word than there is spaces. So I'll set that to 1. I now need to check through here, through the input control there, to see how many spaces is in there. So to do that, I'm going to need a for loop. So if I type in for, the length here will be the length of the string. So in other words, the length of the contents of this text box. I don't know what that is yet, so I will create a null or integer. I'll call it, let's say, n-len, but I will set it equal to txt underscore input dot text dot length. So I now have a length. So my for loop will be controlled by nlen. So it's n underscore len. This particular string here, I've counted, I think it's 22 characters on it, which means that nlen is going to be equal to the value 22, so it's going to go around 22 times. Each time I will change the value from 0 to 1, sorry, from 0 to 21. And what I want to do, I want to check to see if any of those locations along this length are equal to a space. So how do we do that? Well, our if statement, just like for loop, has the test part inside brackets. And what I want to do is, I want to say if, I already said if, sorry, I want to say if txt input dot text dot substring. So I can pull out a substring of this text, so I could pull out a whole word or just one character. In this case I want to pull out one character, and I want that one character to be whatever's at location I. So the first time around the loop, that's going to be location 0, and I want to pick out just one character. And if that is equal to, and equal to in this language is a double equal sign, because the single equal sign would be an assignment statement. So if it's equal to a space, okay, then I want to do something. And what do I want to do? Well, I just want to increase the number of words. So that's n underscore words plus plus, they increment that by 1. And then the n words that we need to print out, so it's going to be n and n words and a capital W, so it's going to be n words to string. So if I run that now with Mary Had a Little Lamb in here and click on run code, you can see that I've got the value 5. If I just put in, let's say 2, click run code, you see now I've got 2 words. We do get a problem if I had like more than one space in between. It now thinks we've got 3 words, but we will deal with that in the next video.